Hi, fans and friends. Welcome to day 3, episode 3. On to this episode, I have things I've learned since I got to Stella Marie's, or things I find. This is my opinion, please. The first thing I find very, I don't know how to put it, off-putting or whatever, is the entire graduating 2 times. Actually, I don't want to say I find it cringe, but knowing me, I love to keep people in a state of dilemma. When I graduated, when I got my associate degree, at first, a whole lot of people thought I was getting my bachelor's degree, and I have family members calling my dad, and they're like, "Oh, really?" Da, da, da. And mind you, these people never failed me once, but because they saw a post and want to be in fire so much, they had a call to find out. I said, like, your associate degree. Also, I do not find it cringe because I had a lot of people on the internet writing when I say, "Your stuff the club will stuff the school." They were writing speeches up and down. What I think about it is basically just a waste of funds because you should be fighting to get your bachelor's degree and not just smudge your degree. Another thing I find some kind of way is the entire doing unnecessary courses. Because if you ask any student of Salaries to tell you they have a whole lot of unnecessary courses, they just have a whole lot of unnecessary courses, which is basically a waste of time, finances, and energy. Because please tell me why I want to study religious education. I don't want to be a priest. That is not a high school. If a high school, say at least you can pay the entire school fee for the semester and you can learn whatever, you study whatever. But tell me why I will be paying extra money for RE in a university. Tell me why. Mind you, this is not just RE I'm talking about. They have a lot of unnecessary. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Because tell me why I'll do 101 and then it's basically the same lesson when I get to another stage. It's 201, but then it's the same thing I learned in 101. And again, won't make it fun to say, this is advanced. Let's just teach the entire thing, okay? Just teach. Waste of money, waste of money. Actually, I'm the last of my kin going to that school. Nobody in my family going, nobody. The next thing I find so annoying in that school, oh my gosh, nobody in my family can go there. Sitting in line for bank slip. You go to school 8 o'clock, thinking you're early, you're too early, cause traffic and stuff like that, and you make it to school 8 o'clock. You see him be waiting in line for bank slip jet ins, thinking you're early, but then you late. You gotta go at the end of the line. Sometimes if you no seats anymore, you gotta stand, or you start sitting on the stairs. Can you imagine? Can you regrets? The next thing is that entire series mentality is a lie because you can learn series in high school. There is no, except you won't try to be fake, but you can learn series in high school. Everybody is speaking series starting from the high school days. You know, in high school you can learn series. No, that is a lie. So don't say, oh, that's how you got the attitude. A lie. People can start that in there from the high school. Okay. So when I just got to the school, there was this my first day in Santa Marie's video I did that. That's when I started being a star. So everybody's just like first things always. I used to be so ashamed, bro. When I'm working, like I'm so shy, da, 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 but I'm over it. It was my mindset too, but no, 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 no. I've been talking like this from high school days. Even my friend when I'm in the school, that's basically how they can talk. And I think it's because of the spirit entering in the children no phonics. They no phonics. So the moment you start putting a one or two phonics together, people start saying you're speaking series. But basically you're not, because that's just how you talk. You just put words together and people are like, she ready to speak serious, ready to speak serious. Now when this person, they leave us with no children when they enter that school, when you get the children talking, when you get them talking, whatsoever series you can speak, you're gonna cancel it because oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The next thing I find very annoying. Oh, holy crap. Most of the women in the office very, very arrogant. Do we have a witness? If you still get planned to go to that school there. Let me just tell you, if you're a very soft girl, Jeremy, you are very quick to cry, any little thing, any small inconvenience can start making me to cry. Oh my gosh, I could have tear up. If you are like me, find another school, please. Because if you take your time and say you're going to that school, if you still want to go there, no matter what, if you're like, no matter what, I'm going there, no matter what I'm going, if you know what, I know. If you're a fragile girl, leave your fragile attitude at home and put on the whole amount of rudeness into that school because I'm telling you from the gate, from the security up to whatever, so rich bidders in that school. I don't want to be biased because I'm kind of cool with the people that give the bank slip. So if I'm giving a judgment, it's gonna be very biased because they're not arrogant to me. It's basically like if I'm like this woman is very arrogant, somebody will say she's not. And if people say oh the woman is like this, I would say she's not. So I don't know how to give this judgment, but my overall judgment is most of them very arrogant and they need to work on their, I'm not gonna word to use, but you're dealing with different kind of people. That's a school. They can be anti-jealous and now what school fee paying them. And basically, if we do not pay school fees, they don't get paid. So it's just so annoying for you to be arrogant to students. Very, very, some of them very rude. Not even arrogant, rude. Another thing before we get to women being arrogant in the office, student affairs not for the students. That one para personal experience. Student affairs not for the students. What scenario? Yeah, the school has this policy. You have to have your ID card at all times. Da, da, da. And it's justifiable because I mean that's the school, that's their policy. But you have different kind of people, and most of the time that's what student affairs for. So be understanding a little bit, not totally, because you get some very annoying students, but a little bit. Quick scenario: I left my ID card at home. I think I was like, I had a test that day. Oh my god, that me is so annoying. So you have to be very vigilant if you are in this class and everything. So I don't know what happened to me. I forgot my bag. I mean, I switched my bag, so just put some boots in other bag and I forgot my ID card. That day, I went to school, ready to take tests. I was sitting in the office rehearsing, air condition blowing my face in everybody about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just click in my head to check your bag. And then I checked my bag. There was no ID card. I ran from the office. I left my bag and my boots and everything in the office. I ran from there. I went straight to student affairs. There was this woman there. There are two women, but then the other one left right now. I don't know. I guess the other. But yeah, I went to her. I was like, hey, please, please, please. Something very important happened to me. I'm about to take tests and I know I can go from classes to classes, checking ID cards and stuff. But I left my ID card home. I switched my bag. I don't know how you happy. I'm really begging. This is never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. Please, in the name of Jesus, I beg you. That woman looked me dead. Oh, excuse me. That is a very sensitive topic for me. Whenever I think about it, I feel like I'm about to cry. So that woman looked me dead eyes in the eyes and said, you have to go home for your ID card. I looked at her and said, I am really begging you. I forgot my ID card. I live really far. Please, this is just the day. I have other tests to take. If I ever do this again, you'll give me suspension or something. Someone look me dead eyes in my face and tell me whatever. What kind of English is this? But forget about the English yet. Someone looked at me dead ass and said, I don't care. Those were her exact words. She said, I don't care. You have to go home for your ID card. Oh, I got home. Guess what? I forgot my key in the office. So I had to bust my door. That day, I cried to God. I said, God, whatsoever I see this woman, if she ever needs my help, she's never going to get it. Because what the hell do you... That day, I got the ID card. And guess what? I went to school. They didn't even come in the office to check anything. Imagine. For that moment, I said, me and nobody in my family going to that school. Never, ever, ever in my life. It will never happen, ever, ever. Back to student affairs not being for the students. Most of the time, the security that can be to the kids, get right over you. Because tell me what you mean. One of the time, I hit my tea at him. He carry complaint to send me home because I hit my tea at the security. Child at high school. Can you imagine? My next one is the bathroom is a mess. Yes, the bathroom is a mess. And that's a university, by the way. But the bathroom is a huge mess. Mind you, you can't blame the old man because the old man does well. She does her best. So be honest. But your baby Junior does this down in the bathroom. You're very big Jew. She knows what's it. She might watch it. She knows what's it. But she entered the bathroom, used the bathroom because basically the entire place was polluted. She used the bathroom. She did not flush. Somebody went right in there and they came outside like, you use this. And I was like, I beat you. She used the bathroom. She did not flush. That is a university that they will get ready to get school fees up and you got to pay it. But they're not able to connect the water pipe or whatever, however they can do the plumbing stuff to connect it to the commode so you can just press flush when you get done using it. No, you have to come outside or before you enter the bathroom, hold a bucket in your hand, go draw water, finish drawing water. Imagine if you really want to poo or you really want to pee, you have to pass you all that. That is a university, by the way. This is my last point. Got nothing to do with the school. But Lamba, if for your ears, whether you want to take it or not, that is on you. But do not date anybody that sits in the corridor. You know, when you just enter the fence on your left before going to the gym, now the corridor right on there. All the boys that can sit on there. If you freshman or you whosoever, do not. I'm not speaking from experience. Maybe like, she's speaking from experience. No, because I have never, ever, ever dated anybody in that school, and that would never happen. I don't play like that. That is never gonna happen. But I'm just saying, do not. You may be wondering if she's not speaking from experience. Why would she say so? Because back in the day when I used to be friendly, if I don't want to generalize it, because they got some real cool boys that just sit there because they're waiting for their class, and they just won't sit on there. I know a few, but the rest of the other people that make it their total duty to sit there, whether they got class or not, whether they even go to school or not, do not. Again, I'm not speaking from experience because I have never, ever, 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 and I will never, ever, ever, ever date them. But my overall point is, these boys, I've been there when I used to have friends. I used to sit there and I used to listen to them. Most of them are pimps. There'll be another episode, and I am going to talk about my extra hate I get for pimps. But most, I've sat there and I've listened to them. There's this boy that always betting, and he can ask me for money to go bet. He's sitting in the corridor always, and he can ask me for money. I'm like, I don't have to ask your girlfriend. Money, he has a girlfriend in the school. Oh my gosh. Anyway, everybody get a preference, but for me, I wouldn't. And I'm just it's for freshman purposes or for whoever that's just going anything. Oh, they're cute, kind of, but do not date them. Also, apart from the entire being a pimp kind of thing, they're discussers, gossipers. Imagine, like I said, the other episode, imagine your boyfriend gossiping. Imagine your boyfriend sitting with other boys talking about girls. So they're like, if you're gonna use this, most of y'all very useless. Most of y'all bitches, very useless. If you are like that, find another place to be, because the moment you start dating one person, they would spew you around in another little circle, and all of them will stay down right there and discuss you. Yes. So if you like, you take like advice. If you like, you go start married at school. Why you supposed to go study in school, but you go look for men. But if you take your time to go look for men in post school, make sure you find another find boys and sit down in the classroom or in the library. But you see that corridor I show you. Do not. Don't even there. Don't even there. This is my opinion. Do whatever you want to do with it. Thanks for watching to this episode. See you tomorrow.